Tattoo artists of Reddit. What's the worst tattoo you've ever given someone? A guy I know has a tattoo of Roman numerals with his date of birth running down his forearm. The problem is he wasn't old enough to get one at the time, so lied on the form he had to fill out. And as a result, he now has a tattoo with the wrong date of birth on his arm. Two stories. I was in the beginning of my career and had only been at it for about 4 years. Was making a name for myself doing black and gray portraits in my hometown. One day a client came in for me. She had her husband and child with her, wanting a quote on some ink. Their child was only about a month or two old, and they wanted to get the child's footprints with a banner that included the date of birth. No big deal, pretty standard, done these a few times before. Then, I get hit with a twist. It needs another banner underneath it, with nothing in it. Confused, I asked why. They told me the child was terminally ill and would die soon. My jaw dropped. I had a long conversation with the ups and downs of this decision and tried to talk them out of it. Eventually, they convinced me that it was not just so spur-of-the-moment thing, and I did the tattoo. About 6 months went by, and I had put it out of head when they came back and wanted me to finally finish it. I felt so terrible that I couldn't bring myself to do it. I had my buddy do it instead. Second story. 4 kids in their early 20s came in. One of them lost a bet. He had to get a tattoo, and he had to let the tattoo shop's artist pick it. Being the lot of wise area we are, I shouted, "Unicorn with a dick for a horn," and my coworkers yelled, "Dick Taco." His friends laughed, and he was blown away and just beside himself. His friends and him agreed to let him pick 4 of his own choices and put a number from 1 to 6 on all of the ideas, then roll a die. Well, we had one of our best artists do an amazing unicorn with a dick horn on him. I'm just glad people still hold up to their end of a bet. There are many more, but those are just the ones that always pop in my head. I did a cover-up that I wasn't proud of, but that's what the client wanted. A couple came into the shop asking for a cover-up of an ex-boyfriend. She showed me, and surely enough, a big guy's name on her side hip. The good part was, it was done in a light blue ink, easy to cover. I already started getting ideas in my head of what to cover it with. Guy steps in and says, "No, we just want a star over it." The name was about 5 to 6 inches long, and I explained that a star that big would have to be at least 8 inches big to fully cover the name. Both said yes to this. My boss walks over and gets on my ass for not suggesting something else, but I explained to him that that's what they wanted. Both looked at him and nodded. By the time it was done, this small, petite girl had a blue star covering her entire hip area. It looked cheap, tacky, ghetto mad, just stupid. After that, I refuse to do cover-ups if the client doesn't listen to reason. Asked my artist this. He told me that years ago, some stripper came in looking to have vines and roses tattooed on that would come out of her butthole and curl up her back. He asked why not just get the roses on her back and butt, but she insists it must come out of her anus. He reluctantly does the tattoo for a high price and said it looked pretty good too. But curiosity got the better of him after a while, and he asked why she insists on having it come out of her butthole. Her response was both the strangest and smartest reasoning I could have heard for such a tattoo. She would dance, and she figured the guys would ask, "Hey, how far does that tat go?" To which she could say, "For $10, I'll show you." So the dudes pay up a 10 spot, she shows her asshole real fast, and done deal. She's richer, and they looked at an asshole. My tattoo artist is not proud of that job. When I got my second tattoo in Boston, at Regeneration Records, a man came in and asked the artist if she would tattoo a portrait of himself on his back, holding 2 desert eagles with a banner saying, "Watch yo back." I really hope he came back and got it. He seemed so enthused. I knew a guy in high school who got drunk and went out on his 18th birthday and got a tattoo of a mean-looking grizzly bear on his bicep. Whoever did the tat must have been drunker than he was, because it looked like a character from South Park. It was cartoonishly bad. Not any expert by any means, but I'm guessing any tattoo artist that will tattoo someone drunk isn't a very good tattoo artist. My buddy has teardrops on the sides of his middle fingers. Anytime someone complains to him, he puts them up to his eyes and makes a pouty face. I also asked my artist this question while I was in the chair. His story is actually kind of sad. He was working in a shop somewhere down south, and they used to have this Eastern European-sounding guy come in a lot with a string of beautiful Asian girls. The girls would get the same tattoos he had. They stopped serving him after this happened a few times. The first time they assumed it was a couple tattoo. Second time that he has poor judgment. But after that, it started to look a lot like a human trafficker marking his property. He said one of the girls didn't even know the tattoo was permanent. He probably regrets tattooing some of those girls. My aunt's a tattoo artist who is lucky enough to be able to turn away basically any tattoo ideas she doesn't care for. Apparently one guy wanted to have bitches tattooed onto his middle fingers. If the pun wasn't bad enough, his girlfriend then called up my aunt the next day to accuse her of sleeping with her boyfriend. Lovely people, I'm sure. I asked the tattoo artist this question while I had mine done. Someone he worked with got an estimate request for a vagina to be tattooed onto his taint. She gave him an estimate thinking he'd think it too high and moved on. Turned out the other places he went to first quoted him higher, so he accepted. The guy I was talking to said he'd walk by her cubicle and see her bent over with the guy's legs up, and she said she was fine the first hour or so until she took her first break. Then it was torture for her to finish it. I'm a tattooer and I have two that come to mind. The first one was "fuck love" across a Hispanic guy's knuckles. I guess he had just broken up with his girl and was really heated. Tried to talk him out of it, said his mind was made up, figured he might as well spend his money with me and get it done nice. Gave him what he wanted and sent him home. The other one was on a biker girl that got property of guy's name on her lower back. Talking huge though, literally half her back. Same deal as the last one, might as well get it done right and might as well be the one that makes the money. Apparently her and the guy had only been dating for 2 months and she had just had a baby with another guy. Even asked her when the guy went outside to smoke if she was sure and that she could back out if she wanted to, and made sure she wasn't getting pressured into it. She was just genuinely down as fuck for the guy, absolutely stoked to get that tattoo. Hope they're still together, cause there's no way in fuck that giant tattoo is getting covered. Disclaimer, not a tattoo artist. Late evening and I'm in a tattoo shop getting my first tattoo. About 15 minutes into it, some guy drives up to the shop with alarming speed, and I swear he stopped his car with his e-brake. He barges into the store and demands he have a black bar inked onto his chest. He pulls his shirt down and Rebecca is written. My artist replies, "We don't do black bars here," and the guy furiously exited the building. A guy from high school got a stick figure pushing a lawnmower above his pube line. Now he has a wife and kids. Professional artist, 10 years EXP here. I don't want to go into too much detail because thinking about that week was hard, but a very close friend of mine passed away and was cremated, and her sister had some of her ash mixed into the ink for a memorial tattoo. It's an incredibly small amount, entirely safe, and will not affect the healing process. I can't really tell you the feeling of handling that task or the ashes themselves, knowing they were a part of someone who I could physically hug just a few days before. It wasn't an easy process,